In today's video, we stay at Fletchers Farm Camping and Caravanning Club's certified site, which is in Little Ayton, near the lovely village of Great Ayton in North Yorkshire. While we're there, Roxy and I take a hike to Captain Cook's Monument, and then a walk along to Roseberry Topping and conquer that. We also take part in a litter pick to help keep Britain tidy. So let's get cracking.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
We pick up the journey leaving the A172 and heading in the direction of Great Ayton.
An empty street, an empty house, a hole inside my heart. I'm all alone, the rooms are getting smaller. I wonder how, I wonder why, I wonder where they are. The days we had, the songs we sang together, oh yeah. And oh my love, I'm holding on forever, reaching for a love that seems so far. So I say a little prayer and hope my dreams will take me there, where the skies are blue, to see you once again, my love. Overseas from coast to coast to find a place.
So today we're at Fletchers Farm Campsite, which is at Little Ayton, near Great Ayton in North Yorkshire. Some lovely views out across the hills, which are the Cleveland Hills and the North Yorkshire Moors. We'll just take a little bit of a tour around the campsite now. We are parked over there on the pitch. There's two options for pitches. There's with and without electric. It was £25 for a night without and £30 with electric. There's a further field up here, barbecue there, a little bit of a view, and then back into the main camping field. We've got the chemical disposal point and the dry waste, recycling, food and drink cans, mixed glass and plastics. We've also got general waste, wastewater disposal sink there, and then we've got the chemical disposal point. There's a stream that just runs along the side of the site that's just in the bushes there. Facilities on the site include electrical hookup, which is 16 amp if you pay for it, and also we've got drinking water just there. Also on the site there's a farm shop, a cafe, and they're open from 9:30 till 4 p.m. normally, but do check their website for the latest times. There's also toilets and showers on the site, and you get a code for access to those. See a little bit of a view there from the site across the Cleveland Hills / North Yorkshire Moors. If you were passing and just wanted to visit, there's plenty of parking available near the farm shop. The campsite's a Camping and Caravanning Club certified site, and you need to be a member of the club in order to stay there. Here's a look at the cafe. I treat myself to a coffee and a toasted tea cake.
Also on site there's a dog grooming parlour, there's Buttercup's Pottery, which is paint your own pottery, and a farm shop.
Let's take a look around.
Just down from the coffee shop is a children's play area. There's a slide, Wendy house, and just behind me there's a huge trampoline which is sunk into the ground. That'll be great fun. Oh look, and there's a huge pig over there. There was beautiful little pods that you could sit in if the weather wasn't that good. And there's an outdoor kitchen as well for kids to play with. The River Leven runs through the site. At this point it's just a gentle meandering stream. So pleased Roxy hasn't found it yet. There's also an animal petting station on site. I'm not sure what animals there are. There's ducks too.
After having a wander around, Rachel treated herself to breakfast at the cafe and she said it was delicious. Let's get the drone up and have a look at the surrounding area and the site from above.
I'm laughing with my friends, but I can't stop to keep myself from thinking, oh no. I wonder how, I wonder why, I wonder where they are. The days we had, the songs we sang together, oh yeah. And oh my love, I'm holding on forever. Reaching for a love that seems so far. So I say a little prayer and hope my dreams will take me there, where the skies are blue, to see you once again, my love. Overseas from coast to coast, to find the place I love the most, where the fields are green, to see you once again. To hold you in my arms, to promise you my love, to tell you from the heart, you're all I'm thinking of.
Well, it's Thursday morning and I'll be climbing up to Captain Cook's monument there and also Roseberry Topping over that way a little bit later in the day. Anyway, better get ready. Right, that's me set for the off, so let's get cracking. The plan for the day was to walk around 8 miles up to Captain Cook's monument and then along to Roseberry Topping and then back down into Great Ayton. There was a few of us did the walk and as part of it we did a litter pick as well. Rachel had a look around Great Ayton and we'll cover that towards the end of the video. We'll begin at the station.
There wasn't a train station in Great Ayton until 1867. In 1864 there was a lot of industrialisation happened in the area and the station was a bit of an afterthought. So 3 years after the mining started, mining etc. was declining. Actually Great Ayton's population doubled in size because it is literally only a 20-minute drive on the train from here to Middlesbrough. A lot of people came to Great Ayton as it was a great commuting spot. The train station is still functioning now, although there's not that many trains. You can get a train from here to Middlesbrough still. You can also go on to Whitby, Gromont, etc. There is a train due in 8 minutes' time, and that's going to Hexham. It is literally a 5-minute walk from the campsite.
Back to the walk and litter pick now. We roughly followed the path of the National Trust walk, with the exception that we started just past the station and headed in the direction of Captain Cook's monument. There's some beautiful views on the way up. We made our way along the paths, past a field of cows, and then headed up through the woodlands. There's quite a steep ascent through the woods.
Kelvin, we need the bag. Oh, are you recording a video? I thought you were just taking a photo.
No,
Okay, he's actually recording the video of the official bit of rubbish.
there you go.
Okay.
After you've passed through the woods, you then come out at Captain Cook's monument. On Easby Moor, a hill located in the North Yorkshire Moors National Park in the Cleveland Hills, North Yorkshire, England, at the peak, 324 metres or 1,063 foot above sea level, is the monument to Captain James Cook, who was from the area. The monument's 60 foot high, which is 18 metres, and was erected on Easby Moor in 1827 by Robert Campion, a Whitby banker. There was an air crash on the moor during the Second World War. At 4:10 a.m. on the 11th of February 1940, a Hudson aircraft took took off from Thornaby Airfield to search for German minesweepers. 5 minutes later, the plane crashed on Easby Moor, killing 3 of the 4 crewmen and injuring the 4th. Ice had formed on the wings of the aircraft and it couldn't gain sufficient height to clear the hill. The aircraft ploughed through a large plantation before coming to rest. There's a gap in the plantation which is exactly the wingspan of a Hudson. The 4 unexploded bombs that the Hudson carried were later detonated by the RAF, resulting in a pond. After taking a breather at Captain Cook's monument, we then made our way across the moors for a few miles towards Roseberry Topping. On the way you pass through Gribdale Gate, where you can also park if you just wanted to visit Captain Cook's monument. A little further along the path you could start to see Roseberry Topping coming into view. Roseberry Topping's quite a distinctive hill in North Yorkshire. It's situated near Great Ayton and Newton-under-Rosebery, and it has a distinctive half-cone-shaped summit with a jagged cliff. At 1,049 feet, or 320 metres, it was traditionally thought to be the highest hill in the North Yorkshire Moors. However, there are 15 higher peaks, Moor being the highest at 1,490 feet, or 450 metres. Whilst it's not a long ascent, it is quite a steep ascent, and it's good to put you through your paces, and Roxy. On the way up, and especially when you reach the top, there's panoramic views where you can see for miles around. And we've made it to the top. Over the years, I've been up Roseberry Topping many times. Here's a photo of me aged 9, 30 years ago, in June 1983, and another photo there in August 1989, when I was 11. On both of these occasions when I climbed Roseberry Topping, I was with my brother William and my Auntie Margaret and Uncle Arthur. Doing this walk always brings back really fond memories, happy times. As you can see, it gets quite busy on Roseberry Topping, but it's not unsurprising. It's a beautiful place to come. Roseberry conquered, now it's time to head down. After descending Roseberry and taking a look back, you can see the jagged edge we mentioned earlier. We then made our way through the woods and then back to Great Ayton and finished in the pub for a well-earned pint. Roxy was shattered. We had an evening meal in the Buck Inn. Rachel had London pizza and I had chicken parmesan hotshot with chips.
Here in the other half of Great Ayton, which is just behind the high street, as you can hear, it's quite noisy with cars, but it's really lovely. There's a grassy area where you can walk beside the river Leven, which is really lovely. Like I said at the train station, but quite rapidly Great Ayton grew as people were able to commute from the station into Middlesbrough. And as a consequence of that, this part of Great Ayton grew. It's called Low Green, and it's the second communal space that's here in Great Ayton. This shop behind me is a post office. It's got collectibles and there's also a hardware shop in there too. I've just been in Breathtaking, which is a bit of an antique shop and collectibles. What a beautiful shop. If you're here in Great Ayton, come in here. The lady's lovely and there's stuff there to pet too. The gentleman I met at the campsite this morning recommended going into the tannery for a drink. He said it's really lovely. He said the atmosphere is beautiful. Before the 1840s, in Great Ayton Centre, there wasn't really a focal point. The green that you can see now was actually just a bare and empty pasture land, and it was decided that Great Ayton needed something focal point, and the locals all put together and planted some trees and made the village green. There's a statue that represents Captain Cook as a young boy.
So Rachel, what did you think of Fletchers Farm Camping and Caravanning Club certified site? Now that's a mouthful.
I enjoyed it. It's great when you find a site that has so many different facilities on. The farm shop had almost everything you could ever want. The cafe was exceptional. I couldn't believe how busy it got. I went there at 10 o'clock in the morning and it was already full. The food was top quality, and what's really nice is it had toilets and showers, but also you could walk into Great Ayton, and I think it's always nice where you can find somewhere where you're near a town just to potter into. I really enjoyed it. It was lovely and beautiful views. What about you?
So I had a cracking time. It was great to get out and about. Did a litter pick, but only ended up with half a bag of rubbish. I think we did a litter pick in the tidiest national park in England, or that's what it felt like. So yeah, really struggling to get lots of litter. So fantastic to everyone that's been there and respected the countryside, which is really good. Yeah, so absolutely fantastic day, and as I mentioned in the video, it's a place that's very special to me, Roseberry Topping and Captain Cook's. I've done the walk over many years, and it's a fantastic walk. It gives you a little bit of a challenge, but it's not for too long. But I really enjoyed it, and it's always great when you can get up on the top of Roseberry. Roxy was chuffed, she conquered it as well. And just one other point is, as Rachel mentioned, it's all about location, and some people think that you know, 25 or 30 pounds for a CL is quite expensive, but I always offset that with faff for not being in the right place. We went somewhere where you could go walking from, and that for me is what it was about. And you know, paying an extra few pounds for that convenience rather than having to drive around everywhere, it just makes more sense.
And it did have more facilities than some of the larger sites, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, it had your showers, your toilets, but it had the cafe on site, and it had a farm shop on site, and it was very close to the town centre. You couldn't ask for more.
And animals.
And animals, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, great little site. The only improvement I'd suggest is it would have been fantastic if it had hard standing, because then they could have kept open all year. You don't have to worry about the weather. In summary, I really enjoyed it. Cracking day. The weather was kind until we left.
Yeah, when we went, the weather turned really bad, so I think we had good time in there.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.